I'll let you know when we're green. It's, it says that we have I think we're live. Yeah, we're live.
Beautiful. Okay, with that said, very much welcome to that Beautiful Life podcast, episode 196. This is Roddy Bergsim talking from partly snowy Sweden. It just started to snow here outside, where I live outside the beautiful city of Stockholm. And I'm talking to the beautiful Kudus Campbell all the way over in an almost said UK, but it's not. It's actually somewhere else. You're in Trini, mate.
I am. I am. I've made the trip. I've made the trip to Trinidad and Tobago. I
Yes.
am currently sitting in Trinidad and Tobago. It is, you know what, temperature wise, let's actually take a look at that. I'll have to use my phone for that because it's so
Yeah.
right now, according to my phone, it's 26 degrees right now.
Oh, look at that.
It is 4 a.m. All right. I'm using my phone. By the way, if you see me looking down, I'm
It's
using my
4
phone.
a.m. Yeah, I remember that now. Everything comes back to me as if it was yesterday, even though you lived so many years now in UK. Because
Yes,
this is how we used to do it. This is how we used to.
this
This is
is the
the OG
OG.
days. Oh yeah.
This
Oh
is
man.
definitely the OG. So yeah, so I'm in Trinidad and Tobago for a period of time. I'm not gonna say the exact amount of time yet.
No.
You guys will find out, but I'm here for a little bit, tiny bit. Um, but generally speaking, I got here about a week ago, and I've been enjoying my time so far. I mean, I've got to meet up with some close friends of mine I haven't seen in a while, so that was great. You know, seeing my mates from way back, you know, from uni and stuff like that. So we hung out. I've done a reasonably high amount of drinking since returning. So I'd say
I can imagine.
it is.
Socializing.
Yes, definitely. Oh, there's a moth flying in front of me. So this is one of the things. By the way, my camera is on. For those of you who are listening to this in audio format, my camera is on. Not it's not going to be on for the whole thing, but I have it on at the beginning for now. But if you see me randomly looking around, it's because there's a moth or something passing in front of me. This is something that you don't usually get when the camera's off and it's just my regular setup. But because I'm working off my laptop, I actually factory reset my laptop before leaving. So I actually had presets that were similar to the ones I have on my desktop at home, but those were wiped. And when I started setting up OBS this morning, I was like, holy shit, I've not got anything. Like, what do I do? I said, you know what? I'll put myself on screen. It's all good. You guys will appreciate that. Those of you who watch the podcast, and those who don't, well, you know, you guys still have my voice to listen to, so that's all fine and dandy and all that kind of good stuff. So, um,
Mm.
yeah, so hung out with some mates, did some drinking, eating a lot of doubles, a lot of doubles. I've been having doubles almost every day. I think since I've been here, there've only been 2 days that I didn't have doubles. Yesterday was one of them, and then some day before, I didn't have. But every other day I have had doubles, right? And yesterday specifically because I didn't go anywhere yesterday. Like I got up pretty early in the morning, and and I just sort of, how can I say, I sort of just stayed in, you know, I had
Yeah.
breakfast. Because the other thing too is I've been waking up really weird hours because like I guess the jet lag, you know, getting accustomed to being in a different time zone and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, because I know I have to go back home soon, I'm trying not to adjust to this, you know, because then it's gonna be a hassle when I get back and I have to readjust to the time zone there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice seeing my mom. Oh, it was so wonderful to see my mom. Just to hold her
Yes.
and just chat with her, and I didn't get annoyed at her because she annoyed me. So, so
Yeah.
I had to tell her off. I
That
was
that
like,
that comes with the package and everything, it's
it
it's what it
does,
is.
it
It's
is.
the mom son thing, all that stuff.
The thing is my mom came to see me, right, and she didn't tell me she was coming to see me, or she didn't tell anyone where she was going, and and so we were all like, oh, I think my sister called and she was like, is mom there? And I'm like, no, like, um and where I'm at is like a gated area, so like to get in here someone in here has to open to let you in. So to me, it's like if mom wanted to come and see me, shouldn't she have like, you know, let me know like, hey, I'm on my way, so I'll be like prepared to like welcome her in. And then also they had planned to come over. I know my sister would have called and said, hey, you know what, like I'm coming over and stuff like that. Um,
Right.
but yeah, that didn't happen. And I mom ended up getting lost. So
Oh, okay.
she got lost, and then I had to go find her and bring her here. And so I ended up telling her off while we were walking back. I was just like, you shouldn't do this. You should tell people where you're going and blah 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 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, stop complaining, blah blah blah. It's okay. And I was just like, no,
Okay.
no, I have to complain. I have to do these things. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of been the gist of it for the most part.
Yeah, right.
Just sort of like trying to get by for the time that I'm here.
Yeah.
I did some shopping as well, so I had to go and do grocery shopping. That was one of the weirdest things to me. It was quite a weird thing, quite a weird experience for me having to do grocery shopping because I didn't anticipate the cost of food and stuff here. And
Okay.
so a lot of the food and stuff in TT is quite expensive now. And I now, living in the UK for a period of time, I've gotten accustomed to UK prices, right?
Yeah.
And so now having to like readjust to like Trinidad prices, to me, in my memory, Trinidad prices were reasonable. They've not been expensive, but um, after being back and going and doing shopping and stuff like that and seeing the prices, I was like, holy crap! Like we are living like this is really expensive, right? And so I've been trying to adjust the price, and I think I spent like 500 TT, 500 some TT in the grocery alone. And
Mm.
after talking to a friend of mine, he told me when he does the shopping, it's like 3,000 TT. So I was like, wow. 3,000
Mm.
TT, holy crap! But then I can understand as well because I'm assuming they're shopping at like a really high end grocery store because I went to there's a place called Massey in Trinidad and Tobago, and it's like what you would consider to be like a bougie grocery. It's like wait,
Yeah.
for those in the UK, it's like Waitrose, right? So it's like you go there and the prices are usually more expensive than most other shops. And then I went to another grocery shop after because when I looked at the prices, I was like, holy crap, right? I can't buy anything there. I only bought one thing there, and that was for a friend of mine. So she asked me to get this cheese snack for her that my sister had given her some time ago. And while I was in there, I saw the price of the cheese snack, and it was like 14.99 TT dollars. Um, and I picked up two big bags of it. And the only reason I bought it there is because I called a friend who works for that chain, and I asked him, I was like, bro, do you shop at this shop? And he's like, no, I don't shop here. I shop somewhere else. So he's working there, but he doesn't shop there. And I said to him like, okay, so like, I'm seeing some. The name of the snack is called Zumas. So he's like, I'm seeing some Zumas. Should I buy it here? And he says, yeah, the price is the same everywhere. Like that, you could get everywhere for the same price. Everything else, no. Because I was looking for stuff like yogurt, I was looking for bread. I was looking for muesli. I was looking for a lot of things that I would usually get in here in the UK, and just vegan cheese and oat milk and that kind of stuff. I couldn't, I was seeing stuff like that, but the prices, every item was over 50 TT dollars or over 100 TT dollars, and I was just like, wow, there's nothing in the 20 TT dollar range or anything like that. Everything's just really high.
Mm.
And I just said to myself, I'm gonna have to not buy anything here. I'm gonna have to buy stuff when I like somewhere else. And then I end up this friend and a few other friends recommended me to go to this place called Extra Foods. And I went there and oh the prices were so much better, but still quite expensive compared to what they used to be when I lived in TT.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, oof, I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
figure this out, so yeah, that's kind of been it for the most
Yeah.
part.
That's interesting though. But on the other hand, if you think about it, years has passed and
Yeah,
we have gone through certain things like the pandemic is one thing, of course, but also the situation in the world. And we talked about how, these effects also when it comes to costs. And, yeah, years has passed. And I guess it also comes with with the prices, uh,
Mhm.
like in training in other places too,
Mhm.
unfortunately. But it's, everything and everywhere starts to
Mhm.
become expensive, I guess.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it's interesting to hear from your perspective though, since you've lived so, many years, like grown up and then moved and now coming back. Like, is it 4 years ago? Well, I mean, you've been visiting, but
Yeah.
it's like 4 years in the UK, something like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, a lot of, yeah. And yeah, you have your missus here as well. I hope you're fine. Yeah, inflation hits everywhere, and that is true.
Yeah,
It
it
is true.
is.
It's a global thing. It's a global thing. It's a bit more in certain places and certain areas and countries, but definitely also in a beautiful Caribbean island, unfortunately, as said.
Mhm.
But this is wow, yeah. But if you just because I think this is a lot about the travel here and everything. Did
Mhm.
everything work out well? I know when you and I was in contact briefly, you were on Barbados before getting
Yes.
into training. Yeah.
I just want to say, shout out to Virgin Airlines. Their flight was amazing. Just
Nice.
was not granted. I forced myself to sleep for 9 hours by avoiding sleep the night before my flight. So
Mm.
I was awake the whole time. And then I slept for 9 hours on the flight, and there was an air host person, right? So there was this gentleman on the plane. He was an older gentleman, and I remember him coming up to me and asking if I wanted something, and like food or something like that. And I was just like, look, dude, like I was like, no, I'm fine, it's okay, it's okay. And I just went back to sleep because I was just sleeping on this. I had this sort of neck pillow. It's give me a sec. You guys can still hear me. I'm just walking across the room to grab my neck pillow. So I bought this neck pillow here, this particular neck pillow. Those of you watching on YouTube, you'll see the neck pillow. Those who not watching on YouTube, well, go to YouTube later and see it. So I got this neck pillow here from Boots, right? Boots in the airport in Heathrow. Shout out to Boots at Heathrow. If you happen to be looking for a neck pillow, this is a memory foam neck pillow, and it was 10 quid, right? Every other shop that had a neck pillow in the airport, it was between 20 and 40 something or 50 quid for a neck pillow, which I was like, holy crap, like neck pillows are expensive.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Boots has it at a regular reasonable price that you can afford. So if you're looking for a neck pillow and you're in the airport, go to Boots, you get one of these. It's got a little pocket in there. I don't know what you'd keep in the pocket, but it's got a little pocket underneath there. It's got a
Uh,
clip.
Earplugs, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, AirPlugs
So
maybe.
yeah.
And it's so good. It actually says good boots on there as well, if you can
Yeah.
see the camera. But anyway, the point is, I bought this for like 10 quid, which was reasonable, and I used that while I was on the flight because when I sleep on a flight without it, I get neck pains. So slept on the
Mm.
flight, did that whole 9 yards, and then just generally speaking, it was a comfortable flight. There was no set of bumps in the air. It was smooth. The pilot, there were a few moments when the pilot said, "Oh, we're gonna experience turbulence." It was like baby turbulence, It's just you're in the air and
Mm.
the plane just does a like, and you're just like, "Yeah, buddy, keep it going." Whereas like I've been in turbulence before, like flying over the US, and the plane is just all over the place, and you're just like, "Ah, we're gonna die." And then there was also there were this couple sitting next to me, so I didn't get a window seat. So my missus booked the flight for me, and she was asking me like, where do you want to sit when she was doing the stuff, and I was like, don't worry about it, I'll do it when I get to the airport. I'll just tell them where I want to sit, because usually when you check in, they'll ask you where you want to sit. And when I got there, for whatever reason, I don't know if I was there not soon enough or whatever have you, I had no choices near a window. So I just said, hey, just put me wherever. All right. And so I'm a bit at the back of the plane, very close to the tail. And I'm in the middle row. So this plane has three rows. So there's one on one side, middle, another on the other side. And the one in the middle, it's got three seats. So it's me, this gentleman, and his wife. And they're sitting next to me. The wife was in the middle at first. And when
Hmm.
we were getting ready to take off, she was like fidgeting with her remote, the remote you have to press to take out. She was struggling with it, and I just helped her with it, as a proper, top tier husband of dreams, gentlemanly fellow. I helped her with it, and she was like, "Oh, thank you," and I was like, "You're welcome," of course. And then I went to sleep. No, and so when I finally woke up, I think maybe about an hour away from Barbados,
Mm,
And when I woke up,
perfect.
the yeah, it was really perfect. The lady was like, her and her husband had switched places since since
Oh,
then.
okay.
And so the husband was in the middle and she was at the end. And we started, they started to say to me like, oh, like, the air host, they thought something was wrong with you, you know, they thought like you were sick or something, you were poorly. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm just
Really?
bloody tired. Like I haven't slept, you know. Um, and because they were coming around and they were so generous and like, oh, do you need anything? Would you like a glass of water? You know. And at one point, I did take a bottle of water, or sorry, a glass of water, and I was only able to have like about a half of it. And then I was just like, oh my god, I don't want to hold this cup, and I don't know what to do with it. I was just like, oh bloody hell. But in the end, someone else was passing. I just gave them the cup, you know, and the bad part of doing that is that I then had to make a wee at some point during the flight, so I had to get up a couple of times and go to the loo and make a wee, and then I'd come back to my seat and just go back to sleep. That was just my routine, you know. Um, and yeah, generally speaking, because before I got on the flight, I drank so much liquid, so I was actually full of liquid before I got on the flight. I had coffee, I had a bottle of water, and I had this sort of like, I think it was like a shot for like, because I
Mm-hmm.
had a cough. It was like a shot with
Mm.
like ginger and other stuff and kale and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
all that liquid was inside of me. And by the time I was on the flight, that liquid wanted to come out. It was like, hey, buddy, let's let's get out of
It's
here.
time.
So that's the only time I was awake. Was it was just to get up and just use the loo and then just go back to sleep. But it
Okay.
was such a comfortable flight. When I got off the flight, I was just saying thank you to everyone. Oh, thank you. This was amazing. Appreciate you. This was perfect. Let's do this again sometime. And then
Mm.
the flight from Barbados. So when I got into Barbados, I ended up having Subway for a meal because I was actually hungry after that point in time because I didn't eat anything on the flight. So I had Subway. And I just want to say this one thing. For those of you who live in the UK, y'all don't know, but Subway has pineapples, right? And I always knew Subway had pineapples growing up in the Caribbean and Trinidad. That was just a thing that was just a constant. But in the
Okay.
UK, that is not an option. You do not get pineapples, and they don't have the teriyaki chicken option either, or Parmesan bread. Yo, let me just say this: there was Parmesan bread, there was teriyaki chicken, and there was pineapple. Your boy was like, I'm gonna take all of these things, right? And then the person told me, sorry, we only have oat bread or wheat bread or something because the Parmesan bread isn't finished. So I settled, you know. But I did get to have, excuse me, I did get to have the other stuff that I wanted, which was the teriyaki chicken and the pineapple, and that was magnificent, magnificent.
Mm.
Had a 6 inch.
Good.
I traveled I've got this bag that my missus got me. Shout out to my missus and this bag she got me. I'm gonna show you guys this bag. It's called a Gymshark bag, and
Mm-hmm.
this is my travel bag. This thing is beautiful. This is actually, people use this for gym and all that kind of stuff. This bag holds all of my stuff that I need for when I'm traveling. It's so neat. It's got like a little zip thing here on the side, and I use this. I love this bag, to be honest. It's so comfortable. It fits really nicely on my back, and that thing went with me everywhere. Wherever I went, it was that and a small suitcase I was lugging
Yeah,
around.
that's good. Mm.
It held everything I needed, Roger. I'm talking about everything. I'm not going to go into everything that I
Yeah,
have, but it held everything I needed. I've got
yeah.
all my gear, my
Yeah.
laptop, my clothes, my everything. All of it fitted in there perfectly, neat, organized. And whenever I had to stop to take things out, because you know when you're going through, security and stuff like that, they need to take certain items out of it. Because of how well compartmentalized this bag is and how I'm with my suitcase, it took me minutes to just take out everything, get it into the trees, and then pack it back again. Like I was
Oh, that's
undressing.
nice. Yeah.
I was like a transformer, just like in the bins, back out. And it was nice. It was really really nice. Barbados, I think I picked up a keychain in Barbados. I want to say the airport in Barbados is quite expensive when it comes to buying any sort of merch, and it's the same for Trinidad as well.
Yeah.
You would think duty free would mean you get things cheaper, but that's not true. Everything's more expensive in duty free for some reason. So there's a bit of that when it comes to the whole travel, the whole trip, the whole everything like that. But then
Yeah.
I've been here. I'm staying with my cousin, and she's just a wonderful host. By the way, shout out to my cousin and her roommate. They are two wonderful ladies, and they're amazing. I'm actually in her office. This is her office right now. So our office is so cool. By the way, it makes my office look like trash. Like I want to put my office in a bin and take this one. Um, but yeah, like literally, they've been wonderful hosts to me. I've been literally I got in and they brought roti to me. Like when you bring curry for me, like I'm just like look whatever I love you. Everything is perfect. So I was
Yeah.
sold. But they've both been so wonderful to me since I've been here. My friends I've seen while I've been here as well. They've been wonderful. They've come and picked me up and taken me places and stuff like that. They've been planning to take me to the beach and all that kind of thing. So who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen during the week when I'm not dealing with like stuff that I need to deal with. I don't know what
Yeah.
else is gonna happen in the week for me personally speaking, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm excited for what it brings. Um, Trinidad is it is very much similar to the way I left it, but also not. And I think
Mm.
the also not comes from the fact that, for example, there are so many Venezuelan people in Trinidad, people of Venezuelan descent, right? Because the situation that's going on in Venezuela. For those of you who've
Yeah, yeah.
forgotten, there's a whole situation going on in Venezuela, and it means there's a lot of people that have been immigrating to Trinidad and Tobago. So you go around Trinidad and
Mm.
you see people that you can tell are Trini. You can just look at them. That's a Trinidad person, and you can tell a Venezuelan person as well. Most of the time, Venezuelan people tend to have most of them, the ones that we know of, tend to have a lighter complexion than a Trinidadian person,
Yeah, exactly.
and also they tend to speak Spanish. So, um,
Tend to, yeah,
yeah, they
exactly.
tend to
Yeah.
speak Spanish. So.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's not a trainee. Yep.
it's not a tree, no, that's Venezuelan. So yeah, it's interesting, and then so many places you're seeing Spanish and English. A lot of places. Usually you'd see
Mm.
that in the airport in Trinidad, but now you're seeing it almost everywhere. And you also you also see a lot of stuff in the country has changed. There's new infrastructure. I went to one of the malls that I used to visit frequently when I was younger, and there's so many stores that have closed down, and it reminded me so much of back in Reading, where
Yeah,
you have a lot of businesses that closed down after the pandemic and all that kind of stuff.
true. Yeah.
So just seeing that the sort of economic hardship that has come from such an experience, how much it's
Mm.
affected not just places like the UK but also like countries like Trinidad and Tobago as well, because you go
Right.
through a mall that was bustling and full of people and had shops and all that kind of stuff, and there's whole sections of the mall are just empty. It's just like a ghost town, broken
Yeah.
windows and boarded up thing. Like I'm telling you, it's like post-apocalyptic kind of
Oh, oh
thing.
man. Yeah. Mm.
So, which is kind of sad to see as well. It's kind of sad to see, but at the same
Mm.
time, it's nice. I was able to get myself a SIM card so I can operate here. One of the things that I think a lot of people may not know, if you have a modern phone, most modern phones now have the option to have a eSIM. So if you have your regular SIM and you travel to a foreign country and your roaming plan is maybe too expensive, it's like traveling to the Caribbean, that's the situation you end up with. The best thing you can do is just buy a SIM card from that country and take out a plan. And what I would do, so the plan I got for my phone works out to about say 30 quid up. Actually, let's say a bit less than that, maybe 28 quid a month,
Mm.
which is a bit more than what I would usually pay. But that being said, it's just for a month. It's not like a
Yeah, but
recurring
still,
thing.
it sounds pretty okay. I
It is.
mean,
It is pretty
it's a
okay.
good solution. Yeah.
Because it means that I get unlimited calls while I'm in Trinidad to anyone in Trinidad, and I have
Yeah.
data on my
Yeah.
phone that I can use to talk to anyone outside of Trinidad through WhatsApp or whatever have you and so forth. So that worked out
Mm.
pretty nicely for me. I think that was pretty good. And yeah, it's just you just go to the phone company and tell them, hey, I want an eSIM. Don't say I want a SIM. Say I want an eSIM. And what they do is they will just program this SIM into your phone. I think they just scan a barcode and fill in some stuff, and you are able to keep your regular SIM in your phone. And when you leave that country, you can just delete this eSIM. So
Mm.
I've got an eSIM. so
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
so yeah, it's been good. It's been chill. I've been enjoying the time I've been here so far, and I'm looking forward to the coming weeks and what else has to come with regards to this whole sort of thing. But generally speaking, Trinidad is nice. You know, it's nice so
Yeah,
far. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm walking around the house with no socks on. I'm wearing shorts and short sleeve t-shirts all the time. So those of
of
you looking at the
course.
camera, you can see my arms are just regular arms, just like that. No I'm not wearing any sort of long thing, no jumpers, none of that kind of stuff. It's just shorts,
No,
short
yeah.
sleeve weather. I'm going out. Even my friends from TT, they were so shocked to see me in shorts because I've never worn shorts around them. Because when I lived in TT, my body was acclimatized to this weather, so I was able to wear anything and I wasn't sweating a lot. But now coming from the UK where it's a lot colder, yeah, I need shorts.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So
Oh, it sounds nice, bro. Do
it
you have
is.
anything, as you said, I think you put it out there, you just take the day or the week as it comes, but
Mhm.
is there something like planned? Are you going like to the beach somewhere, or are you just,
So my mates have they've been saying they want to make a plan for us to go to the beach. So I don't know when that's gonna be, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I've got some plans
yeah.
for some stuff during the week. There's some days in the week where I will be doing certain things. But outside of that, no. I'm just playing it by ear. I'm just taking it one day at a time, enjoying the weather, enjoying the food. My cousin got me into a series called Black Mirror. I watched one episode. Shout out to my
Okay.
cousin Jackie, she's amazing.
Mm.
She got me into Black Mirror, but despite the fact I know she's not gonna listen to this, or probably wouldn't because I didn't send her the link. But I won't give her the satisfaction of knowing that I like it. So when I see her, I'm just gonna be like, that series was horrible. Um, but yeah, but it was fine. It was really good.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
watched episode one together, and she's got a cat. His name is Mr. Kitsons. Mr. Kitsons is so active.
Okay.
He comes in, he knocks on the window in the morning. He comes in, he barges in, does whatever he wants. I was trying to take a nap earlier, and he just kept climbing on the bed, and just like I'm like, Mr. Kitson gets off the bed, and he'll get off the bed, and then he'll curl up on the floor, and he'll wait till I fall asleep, and then I'll be sleeping, and then he'll just be coming on slowly. Eventually, he just snuck his way on. I was out cold. I just woke up and he was
Yeah.
just there laying down on top of me, and I was like, oh.
Oh man, cats, they do what they want and
Yep.
yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
creatures.
He does this thing. He goes out at night and then comes back in the morning and just knocks to get in and then goes and eats his food. So
You gotta check out the nightlife.
yeah, I think he's got like some cat ladies he goes and he meets in the night and
Exactly.
stuff, does his cat stuff and then comes back. But you know what's the thing about it too as well? You look at cats like house cats, and they are so similar in their movement to like wild big cats like tigers and stuff like that. Like I'm watching how
Mm,
Kitsons walk, and I'm just thinking to myself,
yeah.
oh my god, he looks so much like a tiger, like a tinier tiger, but a
Of
tiger.
course.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so they're very much like cats have, even though they've evolved to be around humans, like house cats, they still have their like, you know, like I think if humans didn't exist,
Yeah.
cats would survive. Whereas I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
I think like regular house dogs, I think they die. Regular house
Mm.
dogs, they wouldn't make it if humans didn't exist. House dogs would just, they'd be like crap. They'll probably cry or something for like a whole week and just die on the spot. Cats would be like, all right, well you guys aren't here. Let's just go off and do our own thing. We're cats. We got this. So
Exactly. Yeah, I think something like that, definitely.
pretty much.
Yeah, and
So.
it's kind of a thing. I just was just thinking back when I grew up. I think I mentioned this before. We both
Mhm,
had a cat.
mhm,
Not yeah, at the same time for a few years.
mhm,
We first got the cat, and then the dog later.
mhm.
And I think I mentioned it. It was so obvious who was the master in the house. That was the cat.
It's always a cat, man.
Uh, yeah, he decided when okay, we can play some, but when he got bored, he just went off, and the dog was like, "Wait, what are you doing? You going?"
It's like you're leaving me.
Yeah, and the dog is like five uh, times the size of the cat, of course, but that doesn't matter because
Mhm.
it's it is what
It
it is.
it never
They have
matters.
their yeah, yeah, yeah. They have their mentality, and that's that. It can still coexist, kind of.
Did I lose Raj? Raj? Hello? I'm not hearing Rog, guys. I don't know what's happened. Um, hey Daniel, welcome to the thing. Rog, are you there? For some reason, I see no. Um, I see nothing. Did I lose the signal? Are you guys still seeing me in the chat? Are you guys still hearing me? Can you just let me know? Um, what happened? Let me just message Rog. What happened? I think maybe he had a maybe something happened to his computer. Mm. Or is it my computer? Because I said,
Yeah.
oh, now I can hear you again. Oh,
Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, weird. Maybe it was just the internet side of things on your side. Not that could be so.
it could be. I mean, I am in the tropics. I haven't tested this internet to see how fast the speed of the internet in this house is, so
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it could
Is it?
potentially be that.
Mrs. says no audio for. Oh, you can't hear me?
They can hear you
Oh,
now.
I'm back. Okay,
Because
okay. It was a delay
I
there. Yeah,
think
okay.
they're hearing you and I'm hearing you. So there was a point in time when I wasn't hearing you for a little bit, and then
Okay, that.
and now you're back again. So yeah,
Uh,
so that's kind of it. But here's the plan though. While I'm in the tropics, I don't actually want anyone to know that I'm in Trinidad. So unless I've actually told them, so I'm not worried. Like so my sister, someone was saying to me, I'm not sure if it was my sister or someone else was saying to me like, oh, what if they like, they would see your podcast and stuff. You put everything on your podcast. I was like, no, no one I don't like people who just like stalk my social media don't actually listen to my podcast. Like I don't think that there's anyone who like checks my Facebook who's just like a regular schmegly Trinidadian person who's like cares about what I'm doing. I genuinely don't think they listen to my podcast on a week to week basis. So for
yeah.
that reason, I don't worry about that. But I don't actually want anyone in Trinidad knowing I'm here unless I've told them. I just want to just I want to just exist like a ghost, come in, do what I have to do, and leave. So
Yeah.
if you follow me on social media and you see posts of me in the UK, just know that that's just that's a decoy. that's just, it's a decoy. I am here in the tropics doing tropical people things, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, my social media will not act as such, which is something I do quite a lot actually. Whenever I travel or I do things, unless of course I'm traveling for work, you can't usually tell what I'm doing because I usually post decoys on my social media. I do apologize,
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually. I don't apologize. I do what I want. So so
Of course you do. Of course you do.
of course that's it, So
You're a
that's
cat. You're a cat. Yeah.
You know what? That reminds me of this series I watched a couple years ago called Red Dwarf. We spoke about it on the podcast. Really good
Mm,
British series actually.
yeah.
And there was a cat in there, So
You see, we come back to the cat.
yeah,
I knew it.
exactly. Yeah, it was a
It's a
cat.
kind of a side theme of this podcast today.
And I
The
didn't
cat.
even
Yeah.
name it the cat. I named the episode The Marvels of travel, I think. I think that's what I named the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we're gonna talk about the Marvels soon. But yeah, that's kind of been my week. I don't think there's much else I want to really add outside of just like I've just enjoyed my time here so far. I'm loving that I'm getting to spend time with family. Spend time with my younger sister, my mom, my cousin. I saw my aunt the other night out. Excuse me, that was amazing. Um, you
Oh,
know,
okay. Nice.
I've spent some time, with my friends. Shout out to the
Yeah.
boys. Justin, Javon, Caden. You guys are awesome. And Justin's brother, who I can't remember Justin's brother's name for some reason at this point in time, but he's awesome as well. He's a road bike guy. He cycles like me. So when I went to their house and I saw his bike, I was like,
Ah.
holy shit, dude! Like you've got a bike. So,
A
something like that. Obviously I didn't say it in such
bike
words.
brother.
I said it
Yeah.
in Trini words. I also phoned one of my friends, Ansel. I called Ansel on the phone. Ansel, when you're listening to this, what's up? I phoned Ansel and I called him on the phone and I said to him, I was like, "Hey, what's?" He's like, you know when you call someone and they don't recognize your number and they pick it up, they're like, "Hello, Ansel speaking. How may I help you?" And I'm on the phone. I'm just like, "Yeah, Ansel's caller speaking. I need to talk to you." And he's like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "Ansel, you don't know who this is?" And he's like, "No, I don't know who this is." We went on for a while, and I was like, "It's cute." And he's like, "You sound different."
Okay. Well,
So
maybe so.
maybe so. But then at the same time, I did the same thing to another friend of mine, a friend of mine named Alpha. I called him and I was like, hello, Alpha, and he picked up the phone and he was like, who's this? He did the whole professional thing, hello, Alpha speaking, and then he was like, who's this? And I'm like, this is Harry, and he was like, oh, Harry, right? And and I was like, he knows no Harry. There's no Harry that he knows. He's like, oh, I was like, he's like, and I just said to him, I was like, I'm on my way to the shop, right? Because he has a store. Well, he's like, you want to tell me what you're coming for? And I was like, no, 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 we'll talk when I get there. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And he's expecting this Harry to get there. So I phoned his wife, who's a good friend of mine, and I call her, and she gets me instantly. Like, she's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, I just spoke to your husband, and he's expecting a Harry. He thinks I'm Harry coming. So
Of
the two of
course.
us are just
Yeah,
laughing on the phone the whole time.
yeah.
But yeah, just popped in, hung out with him for a bit. Super cool guy. But yeah, generally, like, oh my God, it was nice to see people I haven't seen for so long. The people who I have had such a good relationship with, and I've maintained a friendship with, even though I've not lived in Trinidad. It's good to just see them and talk to them and spend time with them, share a drink, a meal, whatever have you. It's just been so nice. And
Yeah.
yeah, especially because I haven't traveled in so long and I missed it. I missed it so much. Oh, I can't wait to travel again. I can't wait to get on another plane and be going somewhere. I just need to be
Mm.
going somewhere. I don't know. I don't care if it's Germany, if it's France, if it's Sweden, if it's where. I need to be traveling somewhere at some point again in the near future.
Yeah.
So, I missed it. I miss traveling. Shout out to traveling. It is awesome. Um,
Sounds good, man.
so yeah,
Yeah.
Raj, what have you been up to, buddy? What have you been up
Yeah,
to
you
this
can
week?
soon come here and do a snow angel again outdoors here, as you did when you visited. Now, it was interesting. Before we started to record, I just went to Zaloo, do
Mhm.
mainly stuff over there. And yeah, I just saw that it was snowing. And it
Mhm.
hasn't really been snowing here yet. It's been some snowflakes once in a while, a few days before here.
Mhm.
I'm getting it. And it's kind of because the last few days, it's become colder as well.
Mhm. I think Roger just cut out again. Hello. This is one of the problems Roger and I used to have back in the early days, where we would have call quality problems. I think I need to set the region to I think I need to set the server to closer to Roger. I think that would help the problem. So let me actually see if I can do that. Um, yeah, it is buffering, Nalu. Um,
Uh-huh, it's buffering. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
I'm
not,
I'm gonna try to change the server, Raj. Yeah, I can hear you again.
yeah, sure.
Um, it's here are the options: Brazil, Hong Kong, India, Japan, Rotterdam, Russia, Singapore. What's the closest to you? Because I don't see.
Rotterdam could be an option,
All right, let's
for
try
example.
Rotterdam then. So I'm gonna switch to Rotterdam. Okay, how's that? Do you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, well, I hear you.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
hope let's hope that works, because it's
Yeah,
it
let's yeah.
the stream seems to be perfect. I'm getting perfect green bars, so I don't think it's the internet. I think it's the server through Discord. I think because
Yeah,
it's
it could be that, definitely. If you think about it, we have experienced those kind of things back in the days
that's what
a
I was
bit.
saying. I was saying when when
Yeah,
when when I lost you for a second, I was like, these are stuff that we experienced back in the day, when I lived in TT,
e-
and
exactly.
we just had to figure it out. It was so cool, OG stuff. Um, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think exactly as you said, it's most likely through Discord and
Mhm.
the server.
Yes, definitely.
Because what we did when we recorded is usually we went on to a EU server. I
Mhm.
believe that's what we did. Isn't that
Yeah,
the
we did.
case?
We would usually go to an EU server, but I'm not seeing any right now for some reason. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
sure
yeah.
why.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of US servers though. I'm seeing
Mm.
a lot of US servers. I'm seeing like 4 servers for the US alone. So
Okay.
not sure why.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so it's more that. But
Mhm.
even so, I was just talking about the weather apparently and the fact that it has been snowing here,
Mhm.
and I'm fine with that. I mean, we're soon getting into December, so it's good. I had a good week. Well, the start of the week wasn't great. I actually got a bit of a cold again, which kind of surprised me. But on the other hand, I became a bit cold during the weekend, last weekend, and so I got that. I think slowed down. I got a bit bored. I couldn't work out. I get very like, I don't exist. I'm not a man any longer. Something
Mm.
like that.
Take over the man card.
Uh, Exactly. But the week kind of ended well.
Mhm,
We hooked up with the band.
mhm,
We rehearsed a bit, and we've started to record more. The singer put on some song, and that turned out to be good. So
mhm,
two of us will. I will not be involved in that this time around, but two of us will start to do the mixing and everything.
mhm,
And we had a rehearsal with Capital 59. We haven't been playing since the or rehearsing since the gig we had in July this summer.
mhm,
So we rehearsed on Thursday. We're going to
mhm,
do the same to. Wait, no, wait, stop. We rehearsed. What day is it? It's Wednesday.
mhm,
Monday, and we're going
mhm,
to rehearse on Thursday.
mhm.
But even so, long time, it really sounded good. It sounded okay. So it's going to be fine since we are now rehearsing towards the concert we have on the 9th of December here in Stockholm. So that's nice. During the weekend, we went over to, well, Adam came over, oldest
Mhm.
son. We went also,
Wait,
to
wait,
his
wait, wait,
apartment.
wait.
Yeah.
No, no, say it again properly,
What?
Raj.
What? What?
You said it wrong. Who came
Agent
over?
Adam.
Agent Adam. All right, you said it properly
Yeah,
now
of
this
course.
time.
Agent Adam came over, of course. How could I? Blasphemy. Yeah. so, so he came over, cool as always.
Mhm,
And yeah, we just hang out a bit,
mhm,
ate, we had lunch, and then we went over to his place and did some stuff, helped him to put up some light, actually.
mhm,
I mean, I told you, he has a really good looking apartment, but
mhm,
it's like 3.5 meters up to the ceiling. It's very like a lot of air
mhm,
space. So put up the ladder and do those kind of things. So that
mhm,
was nice. So yeah, it's been good. I think everything right now is pretty chill. Annalie booked like a talking a bit about what is to come when it comes to Christmas, since my mom will travel down and we'll celebrate it here, like in our house. And she ordered like a box. We've had it before, like with ham and things like that,
mhm.
herring and fish and whatever you want to have for Christmas. But this time around, it's from the wild parts of the woods. So it's elk, it's moose, it's
Ooh.
reindeer. It's
Oh.
yeah, it's yeah, yeah,
I'm
it's
still
all that beautiful stuff.
I'm still missing that flavor, that beautiful flavor of mousse that Anli made last time I was in the UK, in
Yes,
Sweden.
yeah, I
Like,
can imagine.
oh my God, I can't wait to have mousse again. Like, I keep telling
Yeah.
every time I meet people and I talk about Sweden, I'm like, that mousse though, that mousse.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so that's cool. So it's got to be focused on that when it comes to our Christmas. But that's not happening soon. But yeah, so the week has been good. So far so good, and it's also, of course, nice to talk to you again. We
Same,
missed last week and
we
everything.
did.
Yeah, definitely, definitely to hook up again and update. And I also hearing that which I was kind of, I knowing that you would have a good time
Hmm.
coming back to Trini and meeting your family and relatives and friends and all that beautiful stuff. So yeah.
It's been going
But with
good.
that said, yeah, we have stuff to talk about as well when it comes to. Should we do some video me gaming first, maybe? If you
Let's
have you.
let's jump straight into gaming. I'm gonna just give you guys a heads up just before we jump into gaming. I'm gonna run across the room again and grab something. I have today's show and tell. Um, so yeah, I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I am gonna switch from the camera that you see now, and I'm gonna switch to another like to gameplay essentially for the like until the end of the podcast. When we get to the end, I'll switch back to the camera again. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna jump into gaming. I think I'll go first, so that way it sort of seamlessly fits what I'm actually talking about. I'm just
Sure.
gonna have this mint. This is called a um it is called a I think it's winter drop. It's called.
Ah,
Let me see what it's called.
that's yeah.
A menthol drop. So this is
Okay.
I've just had breakfast. I had eggs, baked beans, and well bread. And
Mental drop, no?
yeah, so I'm having this. It's from a company called Kiss. I'm not being sponsored by them, but you know,
Yeah, but
is
I
it?
said mental, so it was mental. Okay.
Oh, it's not Kiss. It's KC. Sorry. Mm,
Okay.
I heard what you said.
Well,
So
yeah, yeah.
show and tell now.
Yep.
This is my Steam Deck. Um, I haven't named her yet. Um, but she is majestic, right? And
Oh.
she is a majestic device that serves a very important she serves a very important role, right? I'm gonna actually just do something here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see if it's gonna respond. Okay, exit that. Yep. So you guys, most of you guys who've been following the podcast should know about the bet I have with Bow. And this is a game. This is the game that one of the games that we bet about, which is called Trails in the Sky. Now, just to catch up those of you who don't know about the bet, I bet Bow that I could finish all of the games in this series before the end of next year. So before the end of 2024, I'll be done with these games. So I've been playing the first game, which is Sky, on my laptop and my desktop at home for the past couple of months, and I've been taking a long time to get anywhere with it. I recently came into Steam Deck, and this has been the way I've been playing the game. And big shout out, I'm almost at the end of this first game. Like I'm in the last chapter. I'm gonna be done with it by the end of today if all things go well. If I don't end up doing something else today, but I'll be done with it. And that's all thanks to my Steam Deck because playing on my laptop has been like my laptop is fine, but obviously playing on the laptop means I'm logging this. My laptop is big. It's a big laptop. It's great for when I'm playing more demanding games, obviously, because
Mm.
it's pretty powerful. But for games like the Legend of Heroes, which are not that demanding, it's perfect in handheld. I can take my Steam Deck with me everywhere. The Steam Deck is so comfortable; it fits so well. I want to do a full review on this thing, but just to shout out, the Steam Deck is really really good. It's really comfortable. I know there's the OLED model out right now, so everyone's getting that. Everyone's excited to get an OLED model. I don't have the OLED model. This is the OG one. And I just want to say, even with the OG Steam Deck, it is so good. I think the only issue I've had, the only thing I can say where it's, the only downside to the original one is the battery life. Outside of the battery life, performance is amazing. So many games run on this thing that you would be shocked about. Like some game, and the way they run, the way they perform, it is so smooth. It's so neat. It's so nice. A lot of games I've been playing on here that I haven't played in a while. I just wanted to test and see how it would run, and they run great. You know,
Mm.
and so I just want to big shout out to the Steam Deck. If you're a PC gamer and you've been thinking, oh, I want a handheld or whatever have you, I would say Steam Deck is a really, really, really good, sort of tempting purchase, especially if you have like myself and maybe Roger and a few other people have like an expansive Steam account with an extensive amount of games on there. This thing is just amazing,
Mm.
and so the Legend of Hero games, they all play on this. Even though some of the games they will be listed on Steam as not verified, they still work on this, right? So Sky, all the Sky games, they're running perfectly fine on my deck. Um, you'll find the Yakuza games work perfectly. I want to do some videos on the Yakuza games, so I've got all the Yakuza games now on the Steam Deck. I'm gonna do some videos on those. And there's quite a few others that I want to, touch on. There's one game I wanted to try on the deck that I haven't tried yet, and that is Persona 5 because I don't own Persona 5 for PC. I own it on PlayStation, but I would love to see how that runs on the Steam Deck and just do a video on that talking about it because I know it's for me it's one of the best games out there. I've got Persona 4 in here. I've got a few others. F1 2020 is smooth on this thing and all that kind of stuff. So again, shout out to the Steam Deck. If you've been waiting for one, now is probably the best time if you buy secondhand to get one because of the fact there's going to be a lot of people who are trying to offload their current Steam Deck to buy an OLED. Snap on that. If you don't have a Steam Deck, go look on Facebook Marketplace, look on eBay, look on the used market, look for the original Steam Decks. You probably even get a 512 gig model for way less, significantly less. I was
Mm.
talking to one of my friends from another podcast and he said he sold his OG one for 200 US dollars to buy back the OLED model. And I was
Hmm.
just like, wow, the guy that got that got such a good deal, you know.
Mm.
So Steam Deck is amazing. The OLED is out. Now you can get the OLED for I think it's around 500 or something like that, somewhere I think. But I'm good with mine for now. I'm not bothered. Mine plays everything. It looks great. It's comfortable. It's ergonomic. It feels good in the hand. Um, yeah, I think that's it. So that's my gaming for the week. Rog,
Mm.
how about you?
Sounds good. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds good. And also, when it comes to Steam Deck, it's a kind of a common thing here because I have been going back in time, checking out what Valve has been doing recently when it comes to a really big update regarding the 25th anniversary when it
Mhm.
comes to Half-Life.
Ooh.
Half-Life, yes. They have added a bunch of new content,
Mhm.
official Steam Deck support, for example,
Oof.
and they've also released a documentary about the game.
Mhm.
They have added, as said, a lot of content, some quality of life upgrades overall, but even as mentioned, the Steam Deck support. And also, when it comes to the content, it's kind of cool. They have included Half-Life Uplink, which is like a mini campaign that was originally available only on CDs from these, like the magazine and hardware manufacturers, that you like bought back in the days and you got the CD and you could play or
Mhm.
something. So there are also 4 new multiplayer maps that Valve says will push the limits of what's possible in the Half-Life engine.
Mhm.
They added also maps and multiplayer character models from a CD called Half-Life Further Data.
Mhm.
They have also, which I thought was great, some new settings, including the ability to play with a widescreen field of view,
Mhm.
and also support for a proper gamepad config.
Mhm.
Look at that now. And the game's UI has been updated so that it scales for larger screens.
Mhm.
Since they built most of the stuff for 640 times 480 CRTs, and some of us nowadays have upgraded since then, as Bob says. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's cool. So yeah, Half-Life is now Steam Deck verified, and it should work well on the Steam Deck without any fill-in or stuff like that.
Mhm.
So what I did is that I went into the Half-Life multiplayer, and it has got like a revive kind of thing. It was quite a few players playing, and it's cool. I mean, this is back in the days where, like, you know, shooters like Quake was around, and
Mhm.
that's also what you feel when you play the Half-Life multiplayer. That's where it like started, like that is fast-paced moving like shooting games that
Mhm.
definitely takes some skill to master. It was fun. I had a good time. It was absolutely insane on some of the maps with so many players. It was crazy action, but a lot of fun, as said. So I really wanted to mention this since Half-Life is such a the whole series. I mean, it's a great game and games, and it really did a like big thing regarding the history of video gaming. I think so.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's that. That's definitely that.
Sounds amazing. Sounds absolutely amazing. And I have never
Yeah,
played
Half-Life 3.
Half-Life.
No, that would be something.
I have never.
Valve can't count to 3, so it's I'm not
I
sure
don't
if
think they
it's
could do that with
gonna.
any of their games, whether it's
No,
Half-Life, whether it's with what's that other one? Team Fortress.
Team Fortress, for
They
example, and yeah,
they can't go to three. But yeah,
no,
I've
Left
never
4
played
Dead.
Left 4 Dead is another one as well. Um,
Yeah,
I've never completed Half-Life. So another one from Valve is Portal. They're stuck on Portal 2.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah. That being said,
Mm,
let's talk about some telly. Let's talk about
absolutely, yes.
let's get into some shows. Let's talk about what we be watching and all that kind of good stuff. So to begin with, I because I had to travel on a plane, I loaded up my devices with stuff to watch. Right now, I no as I said before, I didn't spend a lot of time awake during my flight because I was sleeping. But when I was waiting in the airport between my flights, like for example, I had a 4 hour layover in Barbados, and then I had a bit of waiting in London Heathrow before my flight. I got to watching some shows, and the show I started watching that I was catching up on in the airport was The Matrix. Um,
Ah,
so that was The Matrix Resurrection, the new Matrix film, right?
mm-hmm.
Starring Keanu Reeves and am I saying his name correct? Is it Keanu Reeves? Is that his
Yeah,
last
yeah,
name? Is it Reeves?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Keanu, and I'm also a big fan of The Matrix, but I didn't like The Matrix Resurrection, and I found that it treaded on a lot of ground that the original series did, the original trilogy, I should say, did. It didn't really introduce anything new. It just didn't.
No,
I don't feel like it. It's a 5.7 on IMDb, and I can see why it's that low out of 10. For me
yes,
personally
yeah.
speaking, I think it's closer to like a 4 or something for me. And the reason again why I say that is because it doesn't feel like they've added anything to the Matrix. Like the whole universe and all that kind of stuff. There's new stuff, there's new characters, there's a new Morpheus, there's this new girl that's like helping out Neo, Trinity's still there and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just like, wow, And in this
Yeah.
movie, it kind of paints Trinity as she's kind of the one, even though Keanu is like front and center. When as the show goes on, you sort of like Trinity takes the forefront. She's the one being all doing all the cool stuff, and Keanu is
Mm.
like not doing it, and it's just kind of like, no, it's Neo. Why not him? He's Neo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I want to say this is actually the worst Matrix movie they've put out, and
Yeah, it is.
um,
I can agree. I mean, I remember I watched it quite some time ago now, but I
mhm,
was also a bit disappointed. I don't know. It's great to see them again. I mean, I
mhm,
love the characters, and I really think the Matrix movies are amazing,
mhm,
especially the first ones, like one and two, especially. But it's yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it's not that kind of level when it comes to
yeah,
this movie,
mhm,
and you can live without it.
mhm,
Stick to the good memories of the Matrix series, and maybe rewatch the movies, as we did at a certain point. But
mhm,
yeah, that's how it is. Sometimes it's hard to make these follow up things, and especially after all these years, it has a kind of I don't know, some sentimental or like nostalgia kind of
mhm.
thing, seeing them and their characters again, but it doesn't really meet up with
It doesn't.
the standard of the former movies. So
I say if you're thinking about watching this, just go watch the trilogy all over again. You'd be
yes,
better
I
served
agree.
doing that. Just going on rewatching the original trilogy than to watch this new movie. I think it detracts from the
Yeah, yeah.
from the trilogy. So that's what I watched. I also watched the Marvels as well.
Now look at that,
Now this
which I
one,
haven't done yet, but
so that's the thing. This because I know you haven't watched it. I'm not going to go into much details about it because I want to have a discussion about it with you when you finally watch it.
yeah, maybe
So
that makes sense. We could okay, we could postpone it. We could
we
wait a
can
bit.
postpone it. So I will
Yeah.
say I watched the Marvels. I didn't hate it.
Oh, that's a good start.
That's a good start. I didn't hate it. A lot of people have had a lot of bad things to say about this film, and I understand, and I see a lot of the stuff that they've pointed out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did not hate this film, and I went in expecting to hate it, and I didn't. You know, so I'm not gonna go into details as to why. I'll wait till you've seen it, and then we'll discuss it in more details and stuff, and then I'll give it my rating then. So I'm not gonna give it my rating now. I'm gonna hold it. It's a 6.0 on IMDb. When Raj finally sees the Marvels, we will drop our ratings and we'll go into more details as to what we liked or hated about the film and so forth.
True.
So
Definitely.
yeah, there's that film. Um, Outside of that, I've had a couple other things I've watched here and there, but those things are just sort of like anime and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get into those at this particular point in time. But yeah, that's generally been it. My telly watching has been good. What about you, Raj? What have you
Mm.
been partaking in?
Yeah, it's been a mixed cup as always.
Mhm.
But I wanted to mention something that we, and when I say we, in this case, is me and Isaac that has been watching a series on Netflix called All the Light We Cannot See.
Mhm.
Now, this is a story, yeah, it's based during, or taking place, sorry, during World War II. It's the story of Marie-Laure, a blind French teenager, and Werner, a German soldier whose paths collide in occupied France, as both try to survive the devastation of World War II.
Mhm.
It's a kind of interesting parallel thing going on. I mean, she lives in this small town that is occupied by the Germans, and the bombings are taking place. It's towards the end of World War II, so 1944, like fall, and the bombers are taking place. And yeah, there's the resistant, people, resistance people when it comes to the French side, trying to by using codes, also telling where they should bomb when it comes to the Allies, the Americans coming over with their planes. So
Mhm.
and everything. And she's like she's podcasting, early podcasting,
Really?
sitting there, yeah, sitting there with her radio in this little house and then the apartment, you might say, and talking. But it has to do with coding as well. So it's like reading from Jules Verne kind of story and giving coordinates at the same times for the allies. And of course, we have this Werner, young German soldier, very smart, like a genius when it comes to, you know, building these radio advices and things like that. And he gets early on into the. It's a backstory with both characters, you might say. And of course, they have something in common because when they were kids, even though they didn't know about each other, they were listening to this professor talking about light and the effects of light for humans and whatever not.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to spoil who it is, but they both listened to this, and it was broadcasted on I think it was like 10.8, something like that. And
Mhm.
that's the frequency she's broadcasting on as well. So when he finds out sitting there. It's all bombed out, almost half of the city, and he hear her talking on this frequency. He also realizes that they have something in common.
Mhm.
At the same time, uh, yeah, so we get the backstory of them both, and also what's happening right there, right now. And it's really good acting as well. I think like names as Mark Ruffalo as the dad when it
Mhm.
comes to this Marie Laure.
Mhm.
You know him,
Mhm.
the Hulk. What can I say? Yeah. We have also Hugh Laurie, who is great, of course. I think he's the uncle or something. Etienne Leblanc
Mhm.
is his name in the series. He's really good. So it's a good series. It's really a good series. The only thing I wished, I guess, is that it would have been nice. This is a very like American production, if that makes sense. So
Mhm.
they speak English apparently. It would have been even as Isaac said, it would have been even better if it was both French and German,
Mhm.
like in the series, but it isn't. But the series is good, and I think it goes in the category of like drama, history, war, and I
Mhm.
think it can suit a lot of people because it's very it's a bit touching and also a bit exciting from time to time. So it's cool. I can recommend All the Light We Cannot See. It has
Mhm.
a 7.6 at the moment here on IMDb, and I think I would put it around there myself, 7.5, something like that. A bit higher maybe, but around there. So yeah, All the Light We Cannot See. That
Although like
is
we
my.
cannot see.
Mm,
Looking forward to it. There's a question. So Nalu says, I don't know if Q or Splish seen my question about apps
sorry.
for the
Yeah.
deck yet. What do you mean? What's this about apps? Have you seen that, Rush?
Yeah. Wait, it was. Sorry.
Just for those of you
Uh,
who are watching, who are listening to this in post, if you listen live, then you can join in the show to a certain extent as
yeah.
we go through. Question about the
N-
deck: can
Yeah,
you have apps like Crunchyroll? I don't think so. And when I say I don't think so, I think you can watch Crunchyroll on the deck because the deck has like a desktop mode where you can just like go to Firefox and stuff, and it works perfectly fine, like as a browser and everything like that. But I have not, and this is me personally, I haven't seen apps like that on the deck. And I understand the desire for that because obviously I think most people they've got like Crunchyroll and stuff on different devices for whatever device they're using. In my case, I don't have Crunchyroll on my my Steam Deck, and I think with regards to the apps, it's if the app exists in Steam itself, it's likely for it to exist on the Steam Deck because everything happens through the launcher of Steam. Now there are some third party stuff you can try to get onto the Steam Deck. I haven't been messing around with that kind of stuff with mine. I'm fine with mine staying vanilla.
yeah.
I don't really care for all that extra stuff because I've got other devices. I've got a laptop, I've got a desktop, I've got the Xbox, PlayStation, all that kind of stuff, Switch. I don't need all that functionality on this particular device. This particular device is specifically just so I can, catch up on games in my Steam library, work on reviews if I have to work on reviews, and so forth. So Yeah, it's serving its purpose for that reason. I don't know. I think the best way to find out would probably be maybe a Google search, but I can say from my experience, you can just use the browser if you switch it to desktop mode, and you can watch Crunchyroll that way if you really want to do it that way. For me personally, speaking on the go, I watch Crunchyroll on my phone. that's the
Yeah,
that's how I
there
watch
you go.
Crunchyroll. So that's how I catch up
Yeah.
on my shows. Um, there seems to be another question. That's a good question. Blah blah blah. I don't know about that. About it. Oh, this is Lexi responding to this one. But yeah. So generally speaking, that's kind of it.
Hmm.
That's kind of it with regards to that. And you're welcome, Nalu. So yeah, we've spoken about our tele watching. We've spoken about our gaming. Have we completed the episode, Raj?
I think so. At least when it comes to our standards, sort of, I guess.
When it comes to our standards. What standards?
I don't
Uh,
know.
mm, you know what?
No, really, I think we have. I mean, we have touched based about usually most of the stuff we. If you don't have anything on your mind you want to add to it,
No,
please, thank you.
I don't think so. I think for me, generally speaking, um, I've covered everything I need to cover. Um,
Yeah.
there's one
I
cool thing
mean,
I want to shout out for my cousin. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it anyway. Let me just see if I can find it. So, let me see if it's behind me. Um, so my cousin does these. She does these greeting cards, right?
hmm
I, I believe you can get it on her website. You could just search like local 868 or local TT, I think.
mm.
So she does these greeting cards, and you can purchase them, and she'll ship them anywhere in the world, according to what she told me. I asked her like if I ordered it from anywhere, would she ship it, and she says
Cool.
yes. So the price for them, they're like 4.99 US dollars for them right now, and they have like little Trini sayings and stuff on there, and I think they're brilliant. I think they're so cool. These really nice cards. Um, please support my cousin and her business Hail Out. You can search for Hail Out on social media. I'm sure she's got some social media pages or something like that set up for them. They're nicely packaged in these nice stuff, and she'll customize them for you as well if you need them customized. I'll try to include a link for it in the podcast post live. But I would appreciate if you guys check out her stuff. It's awesome. I'm gonna be picking up a few of
Nice.
these cards when I leave. So to give to friends and family for the holidays.
Yeah.
So I think I just wanted to give it a shout out because she's been so generous to let me stay at hers while I'm here. And yeah, I will get a link. I don't have a link right now. I'll get the link and I'll post it on here, and I'll share it on social as well. And while I'm here, I will talk about it some more. So maybe in the next episode, I'll talk about some more. I'll have more information and stuff for it. So just want to shout that out. You guys can check it out at your own leisure. They're really cool though. They're really interesting stuff. So like let me give an example. This one says you're the so this is a I think this is a pepper or an okra. I don't know. I think it's an okra. You're the okra in my callaloo. Without you, I'm just Baji. Happy Valentine's Day. And now non-Trinis wouldn't get it, but to Trini, this makes so much sense. So,
I guess it does.
Kalaloo's food, by the way, it's delicious, by the
Yeah,
way.
right. Okay.
Um, Lexi knows what I'm talking about. I've made Kalaloo before. But anyway, yeah, that's it. There's some that are super cool. There's one I really really like. That one says there's no Santa Claus. I'm the one buying these presents. So it's
hmm
hilarious. It's hilarious. So
Mm.
with that, thank you very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. Raj, how about we say goodbye to listeners and get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I wish you all the best. Hope you can have a beautiful week. Take care. Stay healthy and enjoy life. Enjoy some good video gaming and some good TV series. You get the stuff, some tips here as well. So talk to you next time soon. All right, muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. So that guys, thank you very, very much for listening to this episode of That Beautiful Life podcast. Uh you can find Rog pretty much everywhere at a 40 Split Splash. That's number 40 SPLSH, SPLESH. He streams on a Tuesday and a Sunday. Is that correct?
Correct.
Whew, got it correct on the first try.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Bullseye.
Bullseye indeed. It's 5 a.m. here in the morning. If I look out the window, is the sun coming up? No, it's not.
Oh,
The sun is not coming up in the tropics this morning yet. Still dark outside. That being said, if you want to find me, that's LP Garden Sky and to you. You can also find us at Simply Binge or at Simply Binge UK, pretty much everywhere else. And so with that, guys, as always, we wouldn't like you guys to miss on any of the episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many of you do for people like to subscribe to this podcast on Castbox, Acast, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Simply Binge, or comment elsewhere. And what's the confidence they're gonna like it? I'm giving it for free. So as always, guys, this has been queued for your pleasure. And it's a wrap. That is the episode.
it is.
It is indeed. Rog, I was
You-
told by a certain someone who I'll be what's the word for it? I will not announce their name. Alex. That that
Coughing at the same time. Alex. Yeah, yeah.
that people like when we just have like rant, like when I don't end the podcast immediately after I do the outro. They just like hearing a little bit of the random chatter we have going on at the end of the podcast. Um, I don't know why people like hearing that kind of stuff. I
Yeah,
genuinely don't.
okay.
I don't get it.
Maybe it's because it's like off camera, when people, if you think about it, when you watch sometimes maybe it could be the news actually, like a news channel, and they're very following everything like to the script, and then when the camera is off, you can see them turning to each other and they have a different kind of, more relaxed behind the scenes attitude talking to each other. That could be
Hmm.
a thing. I don't know. It's maybe
I
so.
mean, take their pants off, put it on top of their heads, dance with it, spin it around.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Is that what they're
Something
hoping
like
we're gonna
that.
do? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Got to be
But
careful though, so we don't start to do the trick, especially when you have the webcam on. Remember that, like
I know I've got a webcam, I've got to be mindful. That's why I mentioned it this time, because I do have the webcam on and I
spread
need
the man spread. Yeah.